Micro first, I was really afraid of the number of videos and content, but I would definitely say I was so strong in microbiology later because ma'am has taught almost everything that
Yes.
nothing could come out of it. And I really loved microbiology from Shivika ma'am. And pharmacology I used to study every day. And SPM, I never thought that SPM was such an amazing subject because Sir taught it in such a way that he made all the biostats and all the screenings. Like all my perspective about SPM has changed after listening to Sir's videos, and I enjoyed solving all the problems, and I really loved watching. My primary source was Marrow, ma'am. I have watched the videos from Marrow. I have read the notes from Marrow. I have taken one test and discussion from the other platform. Apart from that, everything is from Marrow. I have I've completely depended on Marrow from March 2020. So I have watched all the videos and prepared from March itself. Video watching, I used to do for 7 to 8 hours, ma'am.
Okay.
7 to 8 hours I used to do. For 2 to 3 hours, I used to do MCQs, ma'am.
Hi. You've seen a lot of interviews of top rankers and achievers of NEET PG 2021. And while you are watching those interviews, so many times we feel that these toppers are not like us. They are born intelligent. They have never faced failure, so they are not like us. But believe me, toppers are exactly like us. They have also faced failures like we have faced. The only difference is they do not let failure define them. They do not let failure be their final destination. They keep on moving till they get their goals. Hi, all of you. I am Dr. Sakshi Arora Hans, Obs and Gynae faculty at Marrow, and it gives me immense pleasure and I'm honored to be sitting here with Dr. Charitha Nimishakavi, who is a Marrow Plan C user, and she got a rank of 30K, 30,000 in NEET PG 2020. But she did not let her 30K rank define her. She kept on moving and she kept on working hard. And today I have her sitting in front of me who has done exceedingly well in this year's NEET PG 2021, and she's got 692 out of 800. So from a 30K rank to a double digit rank. That is what Dr. Charitha has achieved. Hi, Dr. Charitha.
Hello, ma'am. It was awesome to be interviewed by you, ma'am, and I thank you so much, ma'am, for this opportunity.
No, rather, I am so excited, to listen to your story, to listen to your journey, Dr. Charitha. So, Dr. Charitha, first thing, first I want to know that, you got a rank of 30,000 in NEET PG 2020. And from 30,000 to 692, a digit rank in NEET 2021. How does it feel?
Yeah, I was very happy, ma'am, and I was satisfied, I would say, like with all the preparation, with all the struggles, with all the obstacles. Now I feel proud in a way, and
Yes.
I'm also happy at the same time.
No, it's not just you who are proud of your achievements. I'm sure your parents, your entire family, and we, your Marrow family, is so proud of you. From all the Marrow faculty members and from all the team members of Marrow, I congratulate you. Okay,
Thank you so
so
much.
Dr. Charitha, you told me that you are a Plan C Marrow subscriber, and I am going to talk to you about your journey in detail as we progress. But first, I want to know that when did you subscribe to Marrow, and how did you come to know about Marrow?
I have subscribed Marrow in 2019, ma'am, at the start of
Okay.
my internship.
Okay.
I've subscribed in 2019, and I had known about Marrow through my friends, ma'am.
Okay. tell me a little bit more about yourself. Which medical college are you from, and from which city you belong to? What do your
Yeah.
parents do?
I'm from Osmania Medical College, ma'am, Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
And yes, ma'am. And my mom is a teacher, and my dad is a business person. And yeah, yes, ma'am. So I'm the first medico from my family.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. So, Dr. Charitha, even my mom was a housewife and my dad a business person, and I was the first medico from my family. So it's
Yes, ma'am.
nostalgic to know that. Okay. And Dr. Charitha, what was your primary source of preparation? Were you relying only on Marrow, or were you using some other source apart from Marrow?
My primary source was Marrow, ma'am. I have watched the videos from Marrow. I have read the notes from Marrow. I have taken one test and discussion from the other platform. Apart from that, everything is from Marrow.
So you were dependent entirely on Marrow, and you bought
Yes,
Marrow in 2019, and that is the time when you were beginning your internship.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Dr. Charitha, what about your undergraduate time? While you were doing your undergraduation, were you using were you solving MCQs, or were you focusing completely on undergraduation at that time?
Uh, I have not done any MCQ, ma'am, during my undergraduation. I was studying my textbooks and I studied all the good textbooks, like I would say standard textbooks for most of the subjects. And I have subscribed to Marrow in my internship, but I have not made much use of it, I would say. Only after my internship, I have used it well.
Okay, so when you gave your first attempt, that is during your internship, just after your internship, you gave your first attempt. How did you prepare at that time, and what was your mindset at that time? Why I am stressing on your mindset is because I want to see how your mindset transformed from the time when you gave your NEET PG for the first time and to the time now when you gave your NEET PG for the second time.
So I haven't prepared at all, ma'am. I just watched some videos which I was interested in, like after seeing my clinical rounds and after going through clinical rounds, after going through the patient's case sheets, I used to watch some or the other video, but I haven't started my preparation. So, so it was fine, ma'am, for me for 30,000 rank during my NEET PG 2020 attempt. I was in a way happy that I was qualified, and I realized the competition that it was
Yes.
huge, and I realized that I have to work hard this year.
So, NEET PG 2020 was like an eye opener for you. It showed you
Yes,
the magnum of competition which is there and how you have to, climb up the ladder. That is the base or the foundation which NEET PG 2020 laid for you.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
So, when did you start watching videos, and when did you actually start preparing for your NEET PG 2021?
yes, ma'am. I've started preparing since March 2020, ma'am. So that was the time where I have I've completely depended on Marrow from March 2020. So I have watched all the videos and prepared from March itself.
Now, when you were able to just qualify NEET 2020 and you couldn't attain a good rank, what was your parents' reaction to that?
Uh, they didn't say anything, ma'am, because they know that I haven't given my best at that time,
Right.
and they were always supportive to me. And I just asked I need some time, and they were okay with it. They were not disappointed at all.
Okay. So that was important that your parents had faith in your abilities, and they
Yes,
knew that once you are going to put your best foot forward, you are going to get your desired result.
yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so from March 2020, now can you tell me how your journey went and you started watching all the videos of Marrow? And how much time did it take you to complete all the videos of all the subjects?
In the first go, I have watched almost all the videos, ma'am, and it took me. Uh, I mean, I have watched videos till August, and I
Okay.
don't say that all the day I was watching video, but I was
Okay.
watching at a slow pace. I was making my own notes, or for some subjects, I have taken the printed notes. I was writing simultaneously. I was learning simultaneously. So I was at a slow pace in my first go. So I think I had completed till by August. I mean, I would say by the end of the August, I have
I
completed.
am also going to go at a little slow pace here because there will be so many students who would be inspired by your story. There will be so many students who would be looking up to you. So I would want to know a little bit more detail, minute details of your preparation strategy. So you said just now, you told me that you made your own notes. So for all the subjects, you wrote down the notes.
No, ma'am. For obs and gynae, for surgery, and for pharmacology, I have made my own notes, ma'am. And for the rest, I've depended on the printed notes, ma'am.
And you wrote OBGY notes because that is what I stress on. That is why you wrote
Yes,
them.
yes, ma'am. At the start of gynae videos, you have told that it's good if you write your own notes. So I've
Yes.
started writing my own notes because you're also writing, and I felt like writing my own notes, ma'am. So yeah, it helped me actually.
Achha, so for OBGY, surgery, and pharmacology, you made your own notes. And
Yes,
for all
ma'am.
the other subjects, you used soft copy of Marrow
Yes,
notes,
yes.
right? And like you said that you were watching videos, you were making notes for some subjects, and you were also reading. That is what
Yes,
I
ma'am.
heard. You said you were reading at the
Yes,
same time. What do you mean by
yes,
you were
ma'am.
reading at the same time?
Uh, I used to pause the video for a while, and I used to study for 5 minutes that topic, and then I used to go for the next topic in the same video. Like in the same video, I used to pause some 2 to 3 times after
Okay.
each topic. I used to learn, I used to study, and then I used to go. Like I used to
So
play again.
simultaneously, you were not just copying and you were not just understanding. You were also simultaneously reading and you were also simultaneously trying to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very good strategy because you were involving all your sense organs and you were completely focused onto that. So many times we are watching videos, and when we are not making notes, our mind wanders here and there.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
this is a very good strategy that after every topic you should pause the video, you should read what you have written, and then you have to move ahead. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes,
Okay. So, Dr.
yes,
Charitha, all this took you till August. Till August
yes,
end,
yes,
you
ma'am.
completed watching all videos,
Yes, most of the videos, ma'am. Most.
most of the videos. Now, while you were watching videos, were you also doing QBank simultaneously?
Yes, ma'am. I used to watch videos from morning till evening. I used to study simultaneously, and during night, like at night time, I used to solve MCQs because I feel tired at that time. So I
Right.
used to solve MCQs at that time.
So this strategy of yours was different from what you did for NEET PG 2020. For NEET PG
Yes,
2020, you did not watch any videos,
yes, ma'am.
right? You were
Yes, ma'am. I
relying
didn't watch.
on your undergraduate knowledge basically
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you gave
Yes,
when you wrote NEET 2020,
yes,
and you
ma'am.
were
Absolutely.
very selective for watching videos. Whatever patient you saw, you watched that video. You did not do any QBank at that time, right? And
No,
you did
ma'am.
not make any notes for NEET 2020.
Yes, ma'am. I haven't made
This
anything.
all you started doing after NEET 2020 from March
Yes.
2020 onwards.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
right. So, just one more thing. How many total hours of video watching did you do?
Uh, video watching, I used to do for 7 to 8 hours, ma'am.
Okay.
7 to 8 hours I used to do. For 2 to 3 hours, I used to do MCQs, ma'am.
So, approximately, it was around 10 hours
Around,
of study.
Yes, ma'am.
in a
10 to
day?
11 hours I used to study.
10 to 11 hours in a day. Okay,
Yes.
Dr. Charitha, are you amongst those who, have a very photographic memory and they read a topic once and it remains with them forever? Or you are the one who has to read that topic multiple times to retain it?
I have to go through it multiple times, ma'am. I have to go through it multiple times, but I like diagrams and I like pictures, I like cycles. So I have included them in my preparation, ma'am, so that I used to remember well. But even the diagrams, cycles, I have to go back and revise, ma'am. Like I'm not the person that who can remember everything at one go. Yes,
So when you're saying you are a person who makes diagrams, who makes a lot of cycles, this is apart from what was given in the printed notes.
yes,
Other
ma'am.
than that, you made diagrams yourself to revise.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
You
ma'am.
had your
I
own
used
innovative ways.
Yeah, in the same book itself, like in the space given in the notes itself, I used to
Yes.
make mnemonics. I used to draw diagrams, something like I used
So
whatever
you
I feel like. I
utilized
used to do it in the
space.
same place.
Okay,
Yes,
so you utilize that space very
yes,
efficiently, the space which is
yes,
given in
yes,
the notes.
yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes,
Okay. So you have now come to August 2020 and now your first revision started.
yes, ma'am.
Now, what was your
Yes,
strategy during revision, your first revision? How did you revise?
yeah. I felt like I have forgotten most of the things. So yeah, so I've started, ma'am. I used to read pharmacology every day, 1 hour at the start of my day. Like the first thing I used to open is pharmacology. So I used to read it for an hour. And after
Okay.
that, I used to do two subjects per day, ma'am, so
Okay,
that I
so
don't feel
pharmacology
bored.
being one of your, I mean, for me also, it is a very volatile subject when we tend to
Yes,
forget
yes,
it.
ma'am.
So
Yes,
every
ma'am.
day you were doing 1 hour of pharmacology.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I used
And
to
this,
study 1 hour
okay, and this 1 hour of pharmacology, this was from your notes or from videos?
from notes itself, ma'am. From notes itself,
Okay.
I used to study.
Okay, and then you began your day and you said that you revised two subjects in a day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And I mean, those two subjects were, any specific combinations or anything? I mean, any specific strategy for choosing those two subjects or any two subjects?
Nothing like that, ma'am. I don't have any specific strategy. I prefer to entirely different subjects so that I don't feel bored. And yeah, because I have studied one single subject all throughout the day and I felt exhausted
Right.
and I felt little bored. So yeah, so I used to study two subjects apart from pharmacology every day.
Okay. So by August, if I just wanted to clarify, did you complete the Q bank also by August?
No, ma'am. No, I haven't completed my QBank. At the start of November, like I completed my QBank.
Okay, so till August, you had gone through the videos, you'd made the notes, and by November, you had completed the Q bank, and by November, your first revision was over.
Yeah, most of it, ma'am, except for some topics in medicine and except few short subjects, I have done my first revision.
Your first revision, and
Yes,
first revision was from notes. You took your
yes,
notebook, the notes, and you read them cover to cover. That is how you
yes,
revised.
yes, yes, ma'am. I have done it from my notes itself, ma'am.
Okay, and
So whenever I have a doubt, I used to go back to the video and I used to watch for that.
so if there was
But
any doubt in the notes, you would refer
yeah,
to the videos again.
yes, yes.
And Dr. Charitha, how did you revise the preclinical subjects? Anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. I want to know that I mean, how much time did you give to these subjects and how are these subjects in Marrow?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. They are absolutely amazing, ma'am. In the Marrow and biochemistry, Rebecca James, ma'am. I felt biochemistry was difficult, but after watching her videos, I used to integrate with pediatrics and I used to revise multiple times, like one cycle per day or one cycle in 2 days during my revision. Like I haven't
Okay.
studied all cycles at a time. So So yeah, I used to break it into pieces and I used to study and I used to
So,
revise.
like you did
And
for pharmacology, same way you
yeah,
did for
pharmacology. Yes,
biochemistry
ma'am.
also. And
Biochemistry
I'm
also.
sure your room would be full of biochemistry cycles.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Right.
I
And you
used to do.
mentioned it correctly. Like the way Dr. Rebecca integrates biochemistry with clinical subjects. I mean, no one else can do it more beautifully than what she does. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that reminds me, did you watch the integrated session of Dr. Rebecca with
Yes,
pediatrics, the integrated biochemistry pediatric session?
yes, ma'am. I have watched, and ma'am made the inborn errors of metabolism from pediatrics very easy. Like
Yes.
I used to study mostly from biochemistry itself, that those topics.
Right. And okay, so how much time did it take you to revise the preclinical anatomy? What was your strategy for revising anatomy?
Yeah,
Because
anatomy.
generally, we girls, we feel a little, I'm not being stereotypical, but most of the times we find anatomy a little difficult in comparison to boys.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Anatomy was my weak subject. I agree, and I haven't I haven't allotted specific time because I used to study anatomy with every other subject. Like I just used to go back for 2 to 3 minutes. Just used to take a glance uh,
Okay.
of those topics which I have, which I'm going through in ortho, which I'm going through in surgery, even in pediatrics like congenital heart disease. I used to go back to the cardiology part of anatomy and I
Anatomy
used
of
to
the
study.
heart.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
so this
So
is
that
during
made,
revision time. You are telling the
yes,
revision
ma'am.
strategy for
Yes,
anatomy.
yes, revision
Okay,
strategy.
okay, okay. You
First
did not allot
revision,
any specific time for anatomy. That is what you want to say.
first for first revision, I have allotted specific time, ma'am. For after that, I used to read like this because I'm afraid of anatomy. I would say because, and this helped me because I used to visit multiple times, and that really sticks in my brain.
Right. So, multiple times revisiting the subject in which you
Yes,
are weak at or revisiting volatile subjects, that's very important. And that is a
yes,
takeaway message for all of you that volatile subjects, you have to, do them daily. You don't have to just do them once and forget it. Right. Very nice, Dr. Charitha. Now, how did you manage your paraclinical subjects? Subjects like microbiology, community medicine, how did you do them?
yeah, yes, ma'am. So, micro first, I was really afraid of the number of videos and content, but I would definitely say I was so strong in microbiology later because ma'am has taught almost everything that
Yes.
nothing could come out of it. And I really loved microbiology from Shivika ma'am. And pharmacology, I used to study every day. And SPM, I never thought that SPM was such an amazing subject because Sir taught it in such a way that he made all the biostats and all the screenings. Like all my perspective about SPM has changed after listening to Sir's videos, and I enjoyed solving all the problems, and I really loved watching Sir's videos.
I totally agree with you. Dr. Shivika, she's taught microbiology in such a manner that I don't think so you can ever get a question which is, out of from what she has taught. And yes, Dr. Mukmohit, the way he teaches biostats, he makes that difficult biostat concepts so simplified that they stay with you forever.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Right. Okay. And what about subjects like medicine? How did you cope up with that? How much
Yeah.
time did you give to medicine for revision?
Yes, ma'am. So in the first go, I have watched almost all the videos, ma'am, because
Right.
I loved watching Sir's videos in the first go. So I never felt like skipping a video. So in the first go, I watched, but while I was revising, I felt it to be difficult to me because it's huge. I felt like that I was not able to revise the entire thing. So during revision, I went in a retrograde
Okay.
manner, ma'am, because I used to solve MCQs. And what I would say about Rakesh's notes is, Sir has included everything, And I used to include everything like from pharma, from path. I used to put those. I used to write in some papers. I used to put it in a medicine notes, and I read only specific topics, ma'am. Like in the first go, I watched all the videos, but during revision, I went in a retrograde manner, and I went only. Have read only the specific topics which are previous year questions or important topics. Like I went in a retrograde manner.
Okay, so revision of my medicine you did in a retrograde manner, but you did watch all the videos and you made all the notes. I mean, you used soft copy, but you
Yeah.
made them in
Yes.
your own manner. You added,
Yes.
few of your important points which you felt you wanted to add
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Although
Yes.
I feel that after what Dr. Rakesh has taught, there won't be much to add.
Yes. Yes.
He's
Yes.
while he's teaching medicine, he doesn't just teach medicine. He
Yes.
teaches the physiology part of it, the
Yes.
pharmacology part of it. So it's a complete medicine,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And what about how much time? So this you did not allot any specific time. How much time did you take for PSM and microbiology revision approximately?
Yeah. Micro. I used to study two subjects per day, ma'am. So I
Hmm.
did it in 10 days. Two subjects I used to do in 10 days. First revision.
Okay, okay, two
Yeah.
subjects.
Apart from pharmacology every day and anatomy. So two subjects. For the first revision, I took some time, ma'am. Like 10. For
Okay.
bigger subjects, I took some time. For short subjects, I used to revise in 2 days, ma'am.
Okay, and
In
how
the
much
first
time did minor subjects take to you, from first watching and making of notes? How much time did you dedicate to minor subjects?
for the first time, 3 to 5 days, ma'am. It was sufficient for me to complete one
Okay.
short subject.
And then revision, you did it in 2 to 3 days.
2 days, yes, ma'am.
2 days. So, on one hand, on a clinical subject, we have medicine, which is vast, right? And on the other hand, we have surgery, which is made so crisp by Dr. Rohan, right?
Yes,
So, how did you manage surgery revisions?
yes, ma'am. So I wrote my own notes for surgery. So it was really crisp, ma'am, and I did 5 revisions, I guess, for the surgery because it was crisp and it was good actually. So yeah, I did almost 5 revisions, and I felt that I was strong in surgery actually. So I was
Right.
not afraid of it anymore. Like after that,
Oh, wonderful. So you made your own notes, means you wrote them. You say, you wrote down all the notes and you were able to
yes,
complete 5 revisions. So although
yeah.
surgery in Marrow, Dr. Rohan has taught it in a very crisp and concise manner, while you were giving your NEET PG, did you feel that anything came out of that syllabus or whatever
Uh,
he's taught?
no, ma'am. Actually, this year NEET PG was in a clinically oriented way. So I don't think that they asked anything like much beyond what was taught actually. So it
Right.
was
And
all
that's
integrated. Yeah.
Yes. And I feel that's the beauty of Dr. Rohan's teaching, that he teaches in a crisp manner, but nothing comes beyond that. Whether
Yes.
it's a clinical question, whether it's a straightforward single question, everything is going to be solved if you listen to him carefully. Right. So this entire first revision, how much time did it take you, Dr. Charitha, to complete
Uh,
first revision?
yes, ma'am. I've started from end of August and I've
Right.
completed by October, I guess, ma'am. Yes, by
By
October I have
October
completed.
end, you had completed your first revision.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you started revising for the second time. So, was there any change in your strategy when you were revising for the second time, or you followed the same process which you did in first revision?
Yes, ma'am. So for the first revision, it took me some time, ma'am. During my first revision, I felt like I have forgotten what I have studied in March. Yeah, so it took me some time actually to revise during my first revision, but second revision was I did in a little fast-paced manner.
Right. And when did you start giving your grand tests?
Yeah, yeah, yes, ma'am. I used to give from the start itself, like from April
Okay.
itself, I used to give, but only one per month I used to give. And Yes, ma'am. So I actually increased the number of grant tests after my second INICT result, ma'am, like July
So
INICT.
I'll come to that, Dr. Charitha. I just want to know that
Yes,
when you were giving grant test initially, in the
yes,
initial phase of your preparation, how were your
yes, ma'am.
scores? I mean, and how were you ranking in these grant tests?
Yes, ma'am. Around 4 to 5,000, ma'am.
Four to
During
five thousand.
May, my rank was around 4,000 to 5,000.
Okay. Now came the month of November, and that was the time when you gave INICT 2020, the November INICT 2020. And what was
Yes,
your
ma'am.
rank in INICT 2020?
Yes, ma'am. My rank was 887, ma'am. I would say
887.
I was not disappointed. I would say that I was not disappointed. I felt that I'm in the race, like I'm in the
Yes.
top 1,000 rank. Yeah, yes, ma'am. So
So
I
you were
improved.
seeing
I
that you
thought of
were
improving.
slowly and gradually climbing up the ladder. You could
Yes,
see
yes,
that.
ma'am. Yes, yes.
Okay. So after that, you started your revisions. And what about the Q bank? Like by November, you told me that you had completed your Q bank. So
Yes, ma'am.
while you were doing your Q bank, what was your strategy of bookmarking the questions? How were you, seeing that which question should be bookmarked?
I haven't bookmarked many, ma'am. In the first go itself, I have bookmarked something. Uh, I choose that I shouldn't bookmark some rare thing because I felt like I should bookmark them, but I restricted myself not to bookmark something which is very rare. But I bookmarked the wrong questions, but important ones.
So
So
that
yeah, I
is very
didn't.
important. Rare
Yes,
things are rarely asked,
yes, ma'am.
right? And so if you are
Yes,
not
ma'am.
bookmarking them, that's okay. But you
Yes,
should
ma'am.
always bookmark those questions which are commonly asked, but you are making a mistake.
Yes, 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 ma'am.
And that is
So
exactly what you did, Dr. Charitha, right?
yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So did you revise your bookmarked questions?
Yeah, I haven't revised till December, ma'am.
Okay.
After the postponement only I have revised, ma'am. So yeah, so that's why I chose to not
Eventually,
to bookmark
after
much.
December, you were able to revise, right?
Yes, yes. Once I revised, ma'am. Once I have revised, ma'am.
Okay, so this, delay or postponement in NEET PG, it was not a roadblock for you. Rather, it
Yeah,
was
yes,
a blessing in disguise.
yes, yes, ma'am. I would say the first postponement was not a disappointing one for me. The first postponement. The second postponement was, yes, it was a little disappointing
It
thing
was
for
a
me.
little disappointing.
Yes,
And then, did you write your INICT June 2021 exam as well?
yes, ma'am. So I
And
have
how did
read
you do
thoroughly,
at that
ma'am.
time?
Yes, ma'am. I have read thoroughly for INSCT and I was expecting a better rank than my previous INSCT, but I ended up with 867 rank, ma'am, which is almost close to the previous
Yes.
INSCT rank.
So,
And
November,
it
you
was a,
had 887, and now you had
yes, ma'am,
867.
867. Yes, ma'am.
Almost the
So
same.
same, yes, ma'am. So I felt a little depressed, like I was disappointed, but yeah, I realized my mistake, ma'am. I realized my mistake, and my mistake was I haven't given many GTs, ma'am. That was my mistake, and I would agree, and that I have improved in the 40 days post INICT result.
Perfect. Now, this is something which I want to stress. So many of us, when we do not get our desired rank, we start blaming others, we start blaming our circumstances, we start blaming postponement of exam as a result of it, we start blaming COVID that we couldn't do well because of this. But that is what you have to understand, that toppers, they do not blame others for their failure. They try to analyze that where they were lacking, and then they try to strengthen their weaknesses. And that is exactly what Dr. Charitha did. She realized by her June INICT result that her drawback was that she was not giving grand tests regularly. So now she started giving her grand tests. So Dr. Charitha, now after your June INICT, how frequently were you now giving your grand tests?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I was afraid of giving grand test before, and I realized that was my biggest mistake. And I used to take a gap of 2 days, and after that, I used to give GT, ma'am. Like between two GTs, I used to take 2 days gap.
So that means
So I,
every third day you were giving a
yes,
GT
ma'am.
after INICT?
Yes, ma'am. I gave every third day, ma'am, and I gave approximately 10 to 15 GTs, ma'am. Like the ongoing GTs and the previous GTs, which I have not given before INSCT. And yes, ma'am, I've given.
Okay, and what was your mindset? How did you analyze the GTP?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
How much
So,
time did you
actually,
spend in analyzing it? Were you just, seeing the questions which were incorrect? Were you reading their answers, or were you going through an entire GT? What was the process which you were following now?
Ma'am, I felt exhausted, ma'am, after the INSCT, like reading the same thing again and again. So this was actually helpful for me, and I used to revise all the 200 topics. Actually, I used to go back and study, and I used to spend much time on my wrong questions, like what questions I have made wrong, and little time for the other things, but I made sure that I have touched all the 200 topics on the same day itself.
Okay, so on the same day you gave your GT, and
Yes, ma'am.
after you give your GT, you used to touch all those 200 topics, giving
Yes,
more
ma'am.
stress on the incorrect ones and little time on the correct answers.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
But
ma'am.
all topics you touched.
I used to touch, ma'am, because I don't know whether if it works for all, but yes, that actually helped me, ma'am, because I was not able to study for a longer time after the INSCT. So this
Yes,
actually helped me, ma'am.
that's wonderful technique. And then
Yes,
what you said, that you were giving GT after every third day. So what about
yes,
the rest of the 2 days? What did you do in those 2 days?
yes, ma'am. I used to complete a short subject in a day or
Okay.
one bigger subject, ma'am. I used to revise my notes between those 2 days.
Between those 2 days, you used to revise
Yes,
any two subjects.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I used to study.
That's great, Dr. Charitha. There are in all, whenever we are preparing, there comes a time when you don't want to study at all. Those are our low days, and we feel that we don't want to do anything. How did you tackle those days?
Yes, ma'am. I used to take a break, ma'am. Like I did take a break, and while coming to studying, I used to break it into as many pieces as possible. Like I used to study one subject only for an hour. When I don't feel like studying some interesting subject, I used to study. I did take a break, but I don't think that I had extended it for a long time. Like I come back and I try to study something or the other, like one subject an hour, just like that.
Okay. So you did take a small break on those days, but you did not
Yes,
extend those breaks, because most of the
yes, yes,
times if we extend our breaks, the next few hours are gone in the guilt.
yes, yes,
Right.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay. And what role did social media play during your preparation? Were you a person who used to rely a lot on the information there present on social media, or did you cut off from social media?
Actually, I would say I had cut off, ma'am, because I haven't used much of WhatsApp or Instagram. But I did take breaks, and I'm like I don't neglect taking breaks, and I did take enough breaks per day. I used to listen to songs or some podcasts or something. I used to read something unrelated to medicine, but yes, in the same way I have taken breaks. In the same way, I used to study the stipulated time I have allotted to study. So that you the breaks used to energize me, ma'am. So I never
Right.
neglect taking breaks, or I never neglect cutting off my sleep time or something like that.
That's also important, that break time is actually a break time. You shouldn't be spending that time on social media. And most of the times you get influenced by others, right?
Yes,
And the
yes,
break extends also when during break time you are on social media platforms, that 1 hour gets converted into 3 hours and you're not even aware of it.
yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. So
Okay.
especially for me, it's true, ma'am.
Right. Now, I think that's true for many of us.
Yes.
So, with such amazing score, what do you aspire to become?
Yeah, I'm in a dilemma to choose between medicine and pediatrics. Yeah, I would choose one of them ultimately, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. And what will your advice be to all your colleagues or your juniors who are also in this dilemma that they are not getting their dream branch in this NEET PG? Would you recommend them to, work harder and be persistent and try next time, or what? Because that next time, that entire 6 to 7 months are, traumatic, I believe, right? To go
Yes,
through the same turmoil again, or would you recommend them that it's worth it? They should stick to their dreams and they should try to achieve them. What would your advice be?
yes, ma'am. I went through the same process, ma'am, during INI-CT results, but it needs some strength, and you should believe in the process actually, and it's absolutely worthy, ma'am. Like I would definitely say it with my experience. Like if you are strong enough, I would definitely recommend not to compromise on your branch, and I would definitely say because it's the lifetime thing that choosing a branch, and for me it's actually worth it, ma'am. Like to spend 6 months or 6 months for a dream branch, it's my
Yes.
from my personal experience, it's worth it, ma'am.
And that's very important. Many of you who are listening to us, you have this dilemma that whether you should give one more attempt or whether you should, take a branch which is not of your dream. So, as a mentor, I would also recommend that it's worth it if you are giving that 1 year to get a branch of your dream. If you have belief in yourself and you are ready to back your ability, then go for it. Give those 6 extra months, because your branch is like your spouse and you have to live with that. So it's okay if you have to give that extra 6 months. This is NEET 2021, another 6 months, or maybe another 1.5 months you have your INICT. So don't settle for anything less. Go and grab go and work hard and try to achieve your dreams like Dr. Charitha did. And one last question, the concluding question, which we have discussed also, that you have told me so much about all the Marrow faculties, but it is still a customary question for me to ask you, who was your favorite faculty here at Marrow?
I would definitely say you, ma'am. Though it is actually hard to say, but I would say because I've learned not just obs and gynae, but many things from you, ma'am. Like I love the comprehensive approach, like how you teach, and I actually applied it to all the other subjects also, ma'am. So actually, I have learned many things from all the faculty members, and yeah, it's an honor, ma'am. Yes,
So
to
you
be a part
have
of Marrow.
do you want to give any advice to your juniors?
I would definitely say, ma'am, not just me, like every aspirant will go through some struggles or some low days or some, it's not smooth. I would say it's not smooth. And the most important thing I would say is perseverance, ma'am. Perseverance, ma'am. So no matter what, if we just come, sit and study, that itself will make a difference, ma'am. Like instead of thinking about things that which are not under our control, if we just come, stay strong and just sit, that itself will make a difference. And I don't say that you will definitely get success in your like first attempt or in your first go itself. So staying strong during the failures is also very important. And yeah, and success after struggles or failures is actually more sweet. and I would definitely say it's worth all the journey is worth of it, ma'am. After seeing the results, I would definitely say it's worth.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charitha. You've said such a wonderful thing that all these struggles are going to, they are going to seem very small in front of the result which you get. And that's worth it. So, all of you who are listening to us, be inspired by Dr. Charitha. Her story tells us that yes, you should be patient, and ultimately you will find your path. Ultimately you will achieve your dreams. So
Thank you.
before we end this, Dr. Charitha, would you like to say something? Would you like to conclude this session by giving advice to your colleagues and to your juniors?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank God for blessing me with this and everything. And I would definitely thank my parents and my family because they have been a support system, like a constant support system all through this journey of 1.5, more than 1.5 years, ma'am. So without them, it would not have been possible. And yes, ma'am, I would advise all the aspirants that it's not an easy path, but it's definitely worth to take it and stay strong. And the most important thing is perseverance. No matter what, just keep calm, come sit and study. That first step itself will make a difference. And yeah, and success is not like I may not guarantee you success in your first go itself, but yeah, stay strong during your failures, and the success after failures or struggles is definitely more sweeter. And yeah, all the best, never ever give up, and just stay strong. Yes, ma'am.
That was a
And
wonderful message, Dr. Charitha. And with this message, which she has given, that stay strong, be perseverant, be patient, ultimately, all of you are going to find your path and all of you are going to achieve your dreams. Thank you so much, Dr. Charitha, for sharing your amazing journey with us. God bless you and may you have a very bright future ahead.
and
Thank you.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.